Welcome to Mishna study Masechet Eruvin Perek Bet Mishnah Aleph. Over here in this Mishnah, we're going to discuss drawing water from a well on Shabbat. So this is a special kula, because if you remember in last Perek, we spoke about how we need to have any type of Erub needs to have a mechitza, right, a full partition, and that partition has to have as much closed area than it does open gaps. And over here, we're going to see an instance where Hamim allowed, and we'll see for a specific reason, people to go ahead and build this, I want to call it almost a makeshift eruv around wells. Now, this eruv itself that we're building, it's going to be called paseh biraot, right? Boards around the be'er, right? Biraot is a plural for be'er, for wells. So it's boards around the wells. And we'll see that these boards aren't covering 50% of the area. Right, you're going to have more open gaps that are totally more than 50%, and even so, it's going to be allowed. This is a kula that Chachamim had for the Olei Regalim, right? For the people that would come to Eretz Israel on the Regalim, on the holidays. They would come from all over the world, and being such, they would come with their animals. And when they got, to a place on Shabbat, they needed to give them water to drink. Where are they going to get it from? The well itself is a Reshut Yachid. Right? It's 10 tefachim deep. And they're in a Reshut Rabim. So what do? So Hamim allow them to make this, what we call pasim biraot, this, what we're going to talk about in our Mishnah. And they'll be allowed to go ahead and do that. There'll be certain conditions. One of the conditions is it needs to be in Eretz Israel. Right? This doesn't work outside of Eretz Israel, because it's specific for the people that are coming Aliyah Regel. That's what Harambam says. So let's go. Osim pasim lebiraot. You go ahead and make these pasim, these boards around the be'er. How do you do so? Arba'at diyumdin, right? 4 diyumdim. Diyumdim are corner posts, right? So you can have 90-degree angle of two boards. It looks like two boards that are together. So nil'in kishmona direi biyuda. Right? So this is how it looks. You see this picture over here. You see each corner has a board. Okay, there's a corner board in each one. So you have, each of the 4 corners. It looks like 8 total. And that's enough, according to Rabbi Yehuda. Rabbi Meir Omer, Shemona, Nirim Keshnemasar. 8 that look like 12. Arba'at diyumdim ve'arba'at peshutim. Right? So according to Rabbi Meir, he has 12 boards. So again, you have 4 in the 4 corners, which look like 8, right? Because it's at a 90-degree angle. So you can have 1 on each side forming the corner, plus 1 pashut in the middle, right? The pashut in the middle is an extra board in the middle. This extra board is 6 tefachim wide, right? 1 amma wide. That's what you need according to Rabbi Meir. Parenthetically, all the boards according to Rambam are an amma wide, and of course they're 10 tefachim high. Like all mechitzot have to be 10 tefachim high, and the depth, the thickness of it could be anything. So Rabbi Meir has 8 boards that look like 12. Rabbi Yehuda had 4 that look like 8. Okay, govhana sara, right? The height has to be 10 tefachim high. V'rochban shisha, the width are 6 tefachim wide, all of them, according to Rambam. V'ovean koshu, and any the depth, the thickness could be anything. Ubenehem. Okay, now another machloket between Rabbi Meir and Rabbi Yehuda. So first we're going to have Rabbi Meir's opinion over here, and that is how much space in between each one, in between each board. So Benehem kimlo shte revakot shel shalosh bakar divrei Rabbi Meir. Right, according to Rabbi Meir, you have 2, right? 2 groups. Revakot are groups of cattle, right? Rivka is a language for cattle, right? Because pasuk is ke'eglem madbek, right? And revakot are multiple, right? It's interesting. Rivka is associated with cattle, right? Achel is the sheep, Rivka is cattle. It's interesting. Over here, okay. So what do we have here? So we have 6 total, 6 cows, 6 oxen, right? That we have, right? Because it's 2 groups of 3, so it's a total of 6. Now, how much does each one? What's the width of each ox? It's an amma and 2/3. So if you have an amma and 2/3 times 6, comes out to 10 amot. So according to Rabbi Meir, you need to have 10 amot. That's the max you could have, is 10 amot between both of these boards. Okay, that's Rabbi Meir's opinion. Now the Mishnah continues. Rabbi Yehuda Omer shel arba arba, 4. Right? So according to Rabbi Yehuda, it's not 13, it's not 10 amot in between. It's two groups of 4. It's 8. So it's 8 times an amma and 2/3, which comes out to 13 and 1/3. Now, the Gemara points out that the Rabbi Yehuda and Rabbi Meir don't argue if there's less than 10 amot, that all you need is 4 posts, right? The 4 corner posts. Even Rabbi Meir would agree that you need all you need. You don't need the extra, one in the middle. And if it's more than 13 and 1/3, right? 14 amot and more, then even Rabbi Yehuda would agree that you need to have those extra posts in the middle, right? Like we mentioned, right? He would need to have these extra posts in the middle, right? Rabbi Yehuda would agree if it's more than 14 amot or more. When are they arguing? Between 10 and 14, right? To 10 and 14 amot, that's when they argue where Rabbi Meir needs to have the extra posts and Rabbi Yehuda does not. Now the Mishnah just ends. Keshurot v'lo mutarot, achat nichneset v'achat yotza. Right? When we said these groups, 3, 3, 4, 4, how are these animals, lined up? Firstly, they need to be tied. They can't be untied. They need to be tied together. So that's really limiting, condensing the space. But achat nichneset v'achat yotza, the way Rambam explains this, like Rashi, is one cow goes in, one cow goes out. Right? So over there, you need more space for the cows, for the oxen to get out, as opposed to if they were all facing the same direction, which teaches us that the amma that we're using, the tefachim that we're using, aren't a tight fist, tefach and amma, rather they're a little looser, like we mentioned. Halacha is like Rabbi Yehuda in both cases, right? So according to Rabbi Yehuda, that firstly, all you need is the 4 posts, right? Even between 10 and 14 amma, all you need is the 4 posts. And halacha is like Rabbi Yehuda, that the maximum amount of space that you can have in between is 13 and 1/3 amma, right? Shlosh amma b'shlish, as we mentioned, because there's 2 groups of 4 cows, each a total of 8 cows.